Yeah, so we stop, or just after we cross the railway line, and we are going by this Sport Ljubljana igrišče Šiška. Basically is a sport complex. The main feature, and we are of course on the road, the main feature of this sport complex is this stadium, which is known by the abbreviation of JAK, which stands for Železničarski akademski klub. So this complex, we will go to the door so that you can see also the picture or illustration of the complex. So this complex started as a sports club for the railway workers, because, as I said before, that gymnasium was previously high school for railway workers, and so here was a lot of presence of railway workers, and they needed, so before the Second World War, some leisure time connected with the sports. And as you can see, we have several soccer, football pitches, the main JAK, another athletic field, several other fields. So yeah, it's quite a big complex here, and you can see some old buildings with a church in the background. Here is also the tennis club, or the tennis part of this complex. And yeah, better view of the church, which was built before the Second World War by Jože Plečnik, our most renowned, internationally renowned architect. In those days, basically this whole area was basically just fields and some of these individual buildings. So this area, because it was closer to the city center, which is in that direction, was more built upon, but still there was a lot of area, so they could build a new church. But yeah, after the Second World War, it was built upon, and now it's, and here we can see. So yeah, for what now? Basically for 2 weeks now, we have new kind of littering going on here. You can see several of these, disposable masks, and also some those surgical gloves just laying around, because people who are littering before this crisis will be littering during the crisis. And yeah, basically pigs will stay pigs even if you put makeup on. And here we are coming to the junction of the two railways, and we will have to cross also that railway. In the distance, let me see if I can get it. Yep, in the middle, that tall sleek tower is part of newly built Jamia or mosque. So this is the first, well, currently only, and it's first permanently Islamic religious structure here in Slovenia. During the First World War, at the Isonca front, which is more known in Slovenia as Soška fronta, so that would be Soča front after the river Soča, or Isonzo as it's also known in Italy or in Italian. So there were soldiers originating from Bosnia and Herzegovina, which was at that time under the Austro-Hungary, and couple hundred, perhaps couple of thousand, came here to fight for the monarchy against Italy. And during that time they built also a wooden mosque. Basically it wasn't so large building, it was basically a prayer room, larger prayer room. But yeah, that is the first known Islamic religious building built in the territory of current day Slovenia. But yeah, so they just opened this Jamia this year, I think, but because of all the coronaviruses they suspended all the religious activities called the prayers, which basically also happened with other religious groups. So Roman Catholic Church, which is the largest group here, also closed. Basically there are no religious activities or events going on. Some churches are still open, or at least they were opened for individual praying, but in that case the church officials or wardens or keepers, had to make sure that there isn't any crowding in the church. And yeah, and I think that basically because most of the churches don't have full-time staff, just volunteers, they basically just close them. And now a lot of priests are doing online masses and prayers and vigils and so forth, and basically they are reporting that now they have more people joining their masses than before, because now people from all over Slovenia can join the mass, especially with those that are given by the more popular priests. And yeah, so they resume the religious life in some other way. There is the Lek pharmaceutical factory, which is part of the industrial zone of Šiška, and there is the tower, and there is the tower of the distance heating plant. And